Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, and I am back at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. In today's video, we're doing a store news update. It's October 30th, and the October's almost over. If you've never been to any of these videos, what we do is we try to touch up on some subjects like what I'm working on, what I've finished, what kind of supplies I've got in, what kind of product I got in, and some store news or some news, wargaming news in general. Okay, well, I've got a number of things to talk about. The first one is, let's start with supplies. Okay, well, I did get some supplies in. Very few, but I got some thread in. I ordered some thread because I have like 3 things of thread, but they were all the wrong thickness or weave, right? So some of them, it's out of reach. Okay, some of them were like braided, some was metallic, some was, and the last one was more like a, it would have been great for like a 28 millimeter or larger figure, but since I'm working on 15 millimeter terrain pieces, I needed some thread for my vineyard. So I got some thread in. Actually, I got a bundle of thread. It's called like a travel pack, and it's for like fixing your clothes. If a button falls off or something, and it came in a variety of different colors, but that's irrelevant. Okay, so I got some thread in, and you'll see that once I finish making these vineyards. You'll see me using that thread at that time. I got some jumbo sticks. Some sticks like this. These are 8-inch sticks. They're close to 1 inch wide for mounting figures. And I don't know. You can't even see that. Okay, there you go. Lighting, right? It's for mounting figures, for painting, but also for the base of the vineyards. Okay, what else? I also got a broom in. I know you're saying, like, why do you care about a broom? Well, this is not it, but it's actually a whisk broom, a hand broom. But I was going to take I ordered it specifically with this in mind. I don't plan to clean anything with it. I ordered it just so that I could cut the bristles off and use them as spears. So I got a broom that's got really thick bristles. I'm going to experiment with it. They're basically plastic, just like this. This is kind of a plastic poly, what do they say? Polyester? No, what's the word I'm looking for? Plastic. And they can be used for like spears or pikes or whatever. And instead of being a stiff wire sticking up, it's going to be stiff, but you can just play around with it. It's not going to hurt anything. And if you put your hand down on it, it'll just bend. It's not like going to poke into your hand. Do I need any pikes? No, I've already done all of my Macedonians, but there are Swiss pikemen, and there are various other spears that I might be able to make and stuff like that for triarii or something. So we'll figure it out. I'm going to experiment with them. Okay, I also ordered, haven't got it in yet, some flock, right? I ordered some darker green flock. I also ordered some, and I ordered like micro scatter. That way, I actually think I prefer micro scatter over static grass. Micro scatter just seems to go on better and cover better. But my problem with all the micro scatters that I personally own, there is one that I really like, but I have very little of it left. So I ordered a couple of micro scatters just to see if I'm going to like them, right? Yeah. So, all right. So what did I work on? Or what did I finish? Well, I finished a lot of terrain. I've been intermixing, working on my commissions, working on my Romans, and building terrain. And I built a lot of terrain. I have like a Gaelic village. I have a Roman town. I'm finishing a vineyard in a little while. In a few minutes, I'll be finishing. I made a flexible rubber coastline. I made a bunch of hills and bogs and stuff like that. So I did a whole lot of terrain. Okay, product. Well, I ordered some Old Glory, Ancients, and Napoleonics. They haven't come in yet. They probably won't come in until mid-November, which is a couple of weeks. As well as I placed a fairly sizable Victrix order. Yeah, so there's the Victrix. You can't actually order and pay at one time. When you're doing it, when you're ordering like as an individual, you can do that. But as a retailer, I have to place the order, like with a purchase order, and then they send me an invoice with the shipping charges and everything, and then I pay it. So it's like a two-step process. So I got to wait for them to reply with my invoice. But I did order quite a bit of Victrix. I even ordered a couple of items from their 12 millimeter World War II line just to see what they look like and just to and I ordered some of their new items as well. Okay. Okay, what am I working on? Pretty much the same old. I have a bunch of commissions that I'm working on, so I'm definitely working on them. These SS Germans, the Wehrmacht Germans, and these anti-tank guns. This is all for a commission. And then I'm also personally, I was working on my Romans, but I've kind of put them off to the side. I'm not going to work on them until I get this commission done. Now the hills that I made, I need to reflock them. The flock went on very thin, and a lot of the weird texture underneath shine through, and I went back over it with like an OD spray to kind of disguise that. But what that OD spray did, it did disguise it. But what it did was it not ruined the flock. I wouldn't say that, but it distorted the color of the flock that I'd put on the hill. So I'm just going to basically put a second layer of flock on it. And I haven't done that yet, but I'm working on that. It says I'm working on this. Well, it's not true. I actually finished it. I was rebuilding my photo booth using MDF. So all those MDF boards that I had, I decided to repaint those and make my photo booth. If you're not sure what my photo booth is, it's I make 3 black walls and a black floor so that I could put a figurine in that booth, and when I take a picture, you'll get true color of the item. Plus, sometimes I'll put my turntable in there, it'll turn, and then I got my photo booth around it, blah, blah, blah. But I had previously used the plywood, and it was working just fine. But I wanted to use that plywood for another project, and I had only made that photo booth using the plywood as a stopgap. I thought I had some chipboard out in the garage, but when I went to look, I couldn't find it. So I decided just to go ahead and use my MDF to remake it and just start over with it. But that's finished. Okay, some news. Okay, so we talked about what supplies we got in, what I finished, what products are coming in, what I'm working on, and finally the news. And I have a couple of pieces of news that I want to share. My eBay store has a sale called the Buy More, Save More sale, and that's going to go on until November 8th. Okay? 8. Right? November 8th is the end of the sale, and it's on 28 millimeter items. So if it's a 28 millimeter piece of terrain, 28 millimeter miniature, tank, painted figures, D&D figures, whatever is 28 millimeters, 25, 28, it should be, and it has to be fixed price. So nothing that's on an auction is part of the sale. So if you're interested in any of that, anything in 28 millimeters, you should go check it out. You get, if you buy 2 or more items, you get a percentage off, and that percentage off grows the more you buy, more items you buy, up to 15% additionally, which is pretty good. I think that's pretty good. One guy took advantage of this sale, and he bought 13, because one item was a 15 millimeter item, but he ordered 13 different 28 millimeter items, so he got 15% off of everything. That's pretty, except the 15 millimeter item. He bought some American infantry. Okay, so from Old Glory. Speaking of which, Old Glory, they have a new sale. Their new sale is on Ancients. Exciting. I'm excited about it, right? So, like Rome and Rome's enemies. I was going to take advantage of it and go in and get some Persians because they're my Macedonians' enemies, but the Persians aren't on sale. Right? It's just the Rome and Rome's enemies. So do I need more Gauls? Do I need more Germans? Or I do need more Carthaginians. And those are on sale. So order some of them. Plus I just went ahead and ordered some figures that I plan to immediately put in the store. So if you're interested, you can either get that, wait for me to get it in. I also ordered a bunch of elephants. A bunch of them. Because I plan to put them all together and paint them or sell them in bags. Speaking of which, elephants. When I originally ordered my elephants, I ordered some Macedonian elephants, but I didn't order the correct elephants. I ordered the successor elephants because I figured, hey, that's Greek and it's Alexander's successors, the successor elephants. And then when I went to this sale, just looking at various things, I didn't realize that there was an actual SKU for Macedonian elephants. And I was like, oh man, really? So I ordered some Macedonian elephants to replace those successor elephants that I Plus, I think I ordered some Carthaginian elephants. Maybe I didn't, because I still have some Plastic Soldier Company Ultracast Carthaginian elephants. Still have all those elephants, but I plan to do them all at the same time, but that'll be in the future. I don't know, but I did order some elephants. Okay, they also have a couple of new packs that I was really excited about. They have what's called the first and second Triumvirance pack. And they have the enemies of the Triumvirance. The Triumvirance are basically, think of it at their generals, like named generals. Like they have Caesar, Pompey, Crassus, Octavian, Anthony, Lepidus. Those are all figures in the Triumvirate pack, and they have their foot version and their mounted version. So if you wanted to make a vignette, or if you wanted to make your general packs for your armies, the first and second Triumvirates are available. Now the enemies of the Triumvirate have Vercingetorix, Spartacus, Mithridates, Serena, Brutus, Cassius. So they've got and they're also mounted and on foot. So like the Vercingetorix one, I almost ordered it just for his figure for my Germans, but my Germans already have general mounted figures, so I didn't necessarily need that. Okay, but I did order the Caesar, Pompey, Crassus, Octavian, Anthony, and Lepidus figures because I'll eventually need to be making my Caesars. My Caesarian Romans are the ones I'm working on, and these are all great general figures, right? Even though I already have some general figures, what I might do is make multiple general figures. Maybe I'll save them. Maybe I'll make different ones to be different skill qualities. Like you're supposed to have a certain number of figures per skill quality officially. That's not the way I do it, but maybe I do. Okay, for those of you that don't know, Little Big Men is back up and running. Okay, so as of like 2 days ago, he started taking orders again, and I said, oh, okay, so let me go ahead and put my order in for my Marian Roman for Forged in Battle. I have already put one Forged in Battle pack. I've already put decals on that, but the second one I have not. So I said, let's go ahead and order. It. It'll probably take a week or two to come in, but that's okay because I'm working on the commissions anyway. And then I know in my mind of minds that I will just, when I'm doing my decals, I'll just avoid the Forged in Battle until I get those decals in. So I'm excited about that. And then finally, I even have it up on my screen here so that you can see. This is something, I don't know if it's been, if it's widely known or what, but I was watching a video of a guy showing off a resin elephant, Carthaginian elephant, right? And he was showing all the parts and how it goes together. He did it, split the video like I do, split the video, and it came back with a painted version of the video of the elephant. And man, that guy, the guy that made that video, he knows how to paint. I was very impressed. I looked at that elephant and I was like, damn, he did a really good job. It got me excited about it. And it was a brand that I personally have never heard of before. Some of you out there, if you're aficionados and you are very familiar with Wargaming figures, you might or might not already know this. But if you don't, I want to show this off to you. It's called V and V, Victor and Victor. There we go. V and V miniatures. V and V. Now, when he got his package in, it had a... Okay, now this guy was in Australia, right? But he got a customs label or something like that on the packaging, and it came from Ukraine, right? And I was like, oh, there's a miniature company in Ukraine, and they're still doing business because he got this while the war was going on. Plus, the website's still up. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, I'm looking at the website. You're looking at the website. If you look over here, we got 54 millimeter figures, 40 millimeter figures, and 28 millimeter figures, right? And you can see he's got some new releases. He's got some Celts, some Russ. He's got the Scorpion and an Onager. Now his Romans are Republican Romans, right? They're not Imperial, which I love because I personally, everybody has Imperial Romans. Everybody says when you think of a Roman, you think of an Imperial Roman, with his segmentata and all that, with his square shield. And I'm going to share a little philosophy with you. When I'm playing a game, I try to avoid armies that are what everybody else is doing, right? I've never had an interest in the popular. I always like something that's a little less popular, like the Republican Romans with the Principe and the Triarii and stuff like that. You don't see a lot of people playing that. You see them playing Imperial Romans or Caesarian Romans, or they're when you're playing in World War II, they're playing SS. They got Tiger tanks, or when you're playing 40K, they're playing whatever the flavor of the month is, Necrons or Tau, or something that is overpowered, right? Where I like to play, like, I personally don't like to go to the other end of the spectrum, like Imperial Guard. No. So I go somewhere in the middle, like Space Marines or Squats or Orcs or something. Right. Those would be fine. And that's kind of the way I am with figures, with the ancients. So I try to avoid Imperial Romans. I mean, eventually I'll probably build an Imperial Roman army just because I'm a completionist. But I don't want to go to the other end of the spectrum either. I don't want to have some kind of Dacian or Scythians or something like that. I don't want to have any off-the-wall armies. I want to have, like, I'm vanilla. I admit it. Okay. So let's go to the 28 millimeter figures. Okay. He's got a lot of different eras and armies. He's got 100 Years' War. I got excited about that. So he's got Carthage, Iberians, Spanish. He's got Vikings. He even has, like, he's got Rome, of course. Normans and the Crusades. So, and Celts are new, it looks like. So let's click on the Celts because they're new. And I'm just going to click this picture. I don't know if it zooms in. It might not. Let's click the title. There we go. Look at those figures. I don't know if you can see that. But those figures look highly detailed. I mean, look at that chainmail. Look at the hair and the folds in their sashes. The faces. Okay, The problem with that is it's a picture, and I don't know if that was a computerized render or if that's actually the figure or not. So what I plan to do is, and this is what I plan to do, I plan to order a few of these, very few, maybe 10 individual figures, not because look here, if you go to, let's say, 100 Years' War, right? And you come down here, we got the English archers, right? These are beautiful models too. Look at that. Got some other pictures here. There's their backs. Those guys look really good, right? But you don't have to order the 4 models. You can come down here to individual models for like $4, right? And that's what I plan to do. Like that's number 5. There are, okay, hold on. If you scroll all the way down, there you go. Like if you want just one crossbowman, one swordsman, you know, a mace, an archer, you know, and that's what I plan to do. I plan to order, I'm going to go through here and look at Rome, you know, I'm going to order, what do we got? Principes. I plan to order, because I think these guys you can, okay, I might be wrong. Yeah, you can order individuals, right? Individual figures. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is order probably about 10 individual figures. Nothing really outrageous, you know, or anything like that. I'm not going to order the elephant, even though they do have the elephant. There's characters, like I can get priests or warlords, or you can get a skald, which is what, like a bard, right? You can get the warlords. There's a Norman warlord, or whatever. Basically, I'm just going to go through. I'm going to pick and choose about 10 figures. I'm going to order them and get them in, and then I'm going to do an evaluation, a personal evaluation of what kind of, well, first of all, I'm going to see what's the shipping charges, right? I'm going to see, are they going to charge me an arm and a leg for shipping? And then I'm also going to take a look at the quality of the figures, the speed of delivery, knowing that it's coming from a war zone. They might, you know, they still have to live. You know, they still have to do business. They still have to, you know, I'm just going to be very appreciative of them. And when it comes in, I'm going to evaluate all of this, and I'm going to decide if I want to be a retailer for them, because they're offering me an opportunity to be a retailer, and I don't know if I want to, because I don't like carrying figures that are not top-notch or good quality, you know? So, but from what I can tell, from what I saw in that video with the elephant, and from what I can tell on these photographs, they look like they're extremely good-looking models. So, so I am going to register, I'm going to order, and we're going to figure out if they're worth stocking in the store. And if they are, then I'll go ahead and we'll order some models. Well, I'll probably put those 10 up for sale. But then I'll establish an account and put them up for sale. But they look really good. I'm really excited for the Crusades. I know I'm weird, right? But I'm really excited for 28 mil Crusades, because I'm just looking at, got pilgrims, you got, which peasants, right? And then you got crusaders. Now, okay, all chainmail and stuff like that. Some plate, not a lot of plate. Those figures right there, those 4 figures, remind me of the 4 brothers in my Harn game, right? We got Sir Price with his mace. We got Bernier with his hand axe. I don't know, 2-handed axe. I don't know. It probably, I think they have a lot of different weapons included. But yeah, that and the kite shields and the knight shields, they just look really good. I don't know. I'm just excited. Now you can get a big squad pack, or you can get 4, or you can even go individually. And then they've got some of these individuals I've noticed are not in any of these packs. These guys look like Teutonic Knights, or at least he does. That's a pretty awesome looking. And then you got your hand axe and swords. Oh wait, there was a review on this one. A couple of them, 5 stars. Not only is it quality, it's really nice to actually see a mini wearing a coat of plates. Okay, that guy. The sculptor clearly knows the subject matter. And they fit together easily, according to this guy. Yeah, so those are high regards. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna leave you. You should go check these guys out, V&V Miniatures. If you want to see me carry these miniatures, if you want to see me stock these, drop me a message. Let me know in the comments of this video that, or just drop me a direct message, however you'd like to do it, that you're excited that I might be carrying these. You're excited to see my review of these figures, or what have you. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you to it, and you guys have a good rest of your day.